Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at the 1984 and 1985 Autobot minibots. What we'll do with this video, we'll have a quick look at them in more detail, so I'll pick the camera up and we'll go across and have a look at them all one by one. I'm going to point out some things that you need to be aware of, show you some of the packaging and show you some of the different types and variants that are out there as well. Now, for all of you Hawkeye subscribers who again watch my videos quite regularly, I did only do this the other day, but in honesty I want to redo it because I felt that there was a few things that I've missed out, and the main reason is that I made a glaring mistake. So for you guys who know the continuity of the Transformers toys as well as me, you'll have pointed out, which you did, the fact that I put beachcomber there. Beachcomber came out in wave 2, not pipes. In the other video I put pipes there. Don't even know why, don't even know how we got there, but that's exactly what I did. So I'm correcting myself, and we're going to do a much better video and in much more detail as well. So let's get started. I'm going to pick the camera up then, and I've actually got these in alphabetical order as well by the looks of it. So wave 1 was 1984, and the first, as I say, figures are across here. So we've got Brawn there. Yep, unfortunately I haven't got another one of him to put in vehicle mode. Main things to be aware of with him is his little chromed silver arms. Obviously if you want to display him in his robot mode, sometimes, and I've been duped in the past, I've brought one in vehicle mode, and of course haven't even seen the arms inside it. Now I'm going to move on to Bumblebee, and this is another reason why I wanted to redo this video, is because I touched briefly on pre-rub, but I didn't really go into much detail. So for those of you who don't know or aren't aware, when they were first released, all the figures, they were just normal figures with the stickers on there, just like the factions. So it was Autobot or Decepticon faction, and then after a few months, definitely by 1985, they all had rub signs on, and this was mainly due just to counterfeiting and, you know, to prove authenticity that it was an actual Hasbro or Takara product. So anything that came out before the rub sign is now obviously known as pre-rub, and everything that came out afterwards is known as a rub variant. And I felt again that I didn't go into too much detail in that in the last video, so hopefully that's cleared things up for you guys if you didn't know what it was. It obviously also does mean, while these are all falling over, that the pre-rub are rarer because they came out first and there's far less of them. But there you go. So we've got Bumblebee in his alternate mode and in his robot mode, and they did do a red version of him as well, in an official Hasbro version. They also did so many coloured variants as well, which I'm going to come to in a second. But yeah, the official released Hasbro ones were the two yellow pre-rub and rub, and then the same with Bumblebee. We've got a carded one here as well, and before I pick it up you can see there's a Chinese symbol there, so this means it's a Chinese reissue, so it's not one of them newer KOs. It came out, the Chinese reissue started at the very late 80s, early 90s, and they were exactly the same. They were all licensed from Hasbro, from Takara, etc. But they just came out that little bit later. I suppose it was just by the time they passed the laws to get them to be able to sell in that particular country. But there is and of course because it's after 84, so it's got the rub sign. Moving along, we've got cliffjumper, and we've got the same thing with Bumblebee. You've got the standard red cliffjumper that obviously everybody knows, but they did also release a yellow one, and the yellow one is of course that bit rarer as well. We've then got Gears, and again I need another one of him. He's got some nice bits of chrome on him to be aware of. Same as Huffer, and I do really like Huffer. You really need to be aware of his chrome, and I'm really looking forward to his new impending Kingdom release as well. Windcharger is obviously the guy here, and you see it's terrible trying to do displays on carpet. It's my own fault, but there you go. So this was all of wave 1. While we're here, I'm going to just briefly show you this guy. This is a white cliffjumper, and this was released by a company known as Antex. And I'm just getting a book ready just so I can show you this as well, and you can see that there he is, and there were so many different variants. I don't particularly want to go into too much detail on the minibot rabbit hole. It's something that I've managed to avoid. I'm incredibly curious by them. I'm going to be doing a review on this book soon as well for you guys, just in case you're wondering what it is. But yeah, they get crazy prices. Now they are really expensive, so it's another main reason why I don't go down that particular alleyway. But it's, yeah, and of course pre-transformers like Microman and all that, they're different colours as well. But there you go, that is a white cliffjumper, and next to him I'm going to give him a bit more of a talking about as well. He does have his own video on my channel, but again people are sort of asked what was the story behind this guy, and of course look, he's even got an Autobot logo on him. He's affectionately known as either Bumblejumper, combination of Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, or Bumper. And this, I suppose, the best way I can describe it is a mistake. One of the best mistakes they ever made, because this is a mini bot, and this is obviously a vehicle that was never ever used in the cartoon, in the comic, in anything. It wasn't even in, obviously, the promotional materials, but it did manage to get out there, and there's still carded versions of this available. Of course, they fetch silly money, but they seem to mainly be only on Cliffjumper cards. But yeah, it's a factory error. So they made these figures. They shouldn't be. It should obviously be either Bumblebee or Cliffjumper. It should be one of these. So this guy is known as either that, Bumblebee or Bumper, and he's basically a factory error. The figure itself you can get again in boxes like Microman, or this car was available pre-Transformers, but they did actually package it in Hasbro packaging, so it is an official error. So there you go, there's a bit more information. He does have his own video as well, but yeah, if you want to find out more of him, there's loads of stuff on the internet. He's a great little figure to find, and it's just got that nice story of the fact that, you know, he shouldn't be here, and he especially shouldn't be here with an Autobot badge on as well. But moving down, and here we go, this is wave 2, so this is where I get to correct myself. Sorry Beachcomber for missing you out. And funnily enough, and I've only just noticed, one of the things to be aware of with these is he's got rubber tyres, and look, I've got one that's perished. I didn't even realise that. So my mini-bot collection is nowhere near as good as I thought it was. I need a couple more to get the doubles and to replace the damaged ones. And in fact, this has got a bit of a sun fade as well. Can you see the difference? Yeah, you can just about see how this one's a bit darker. So that's something to be aware of. I think the problem that you're going to find with most of the mini-bots is that, of course, they were just so well played with. Everybody who had the mini-bots just played them. They've all got loose joints, everything like that. This is Cosmos. There he is, alternate and robot mode. Same for Powerglide. Powerglide, most common breakage, of course, will be the tail fin. Something to be aware of. And Sea Spray. And funnily enough, most common breakage on Sea Spray is one of the propellers. So they should have 3. And this particular one's got 2. This guy here, this is an original carded one. Let's have a look. I'm probably going to get these graded, to be fair, although it's not the straightest card. It's just something to keep it protected. There it is, the original battle scene, well, the 85 battle scene on the back. Lovely bit of artwork there. And then before we move finally over to Warpath, and you can see there's 2 slightly different variants. You've got one which is known as the bearded variant and the standard variant. And the reason why it's known as the bearded variant is very simply, instead of painting his optics for his eyes, they did his visor or whatever it is so it looks like he's got a beard. Again, all official Hasbro / Takara releases. Nothing too fishy or suspicious there. But there we go. This is a much, I suppose, more in-depth guide to Wave 1 and Wave 2. Apologies from myself for making them errors in the first video. And yeah, I'm just glad I've been able to clear a few things up. I'm just going to stick this as a bonus video up in the middle of the day rather than a new one for the actual whole day. But there you go. So hopefully I managed to correct myself and give you guys a bit more information on some of the other variants that are out as well. But of course, thank you all for watching. Thank you for commenting and subscribing. And of course, thanks for your comment, you know, pointing out that I made a mistake, because I wouldn't have noticed it and I didn't. So thank you again to that. And of course, everybody, please take care.